man, so the other day on the stream, man, we was covering the back and forth between people that were discussing the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese situation. I told you I'm tired of that, but it did spawn another back and forth between Ryan Clark and RG3. Now, RG3 is an interesting character, and he was really called out and made us all pay more attention when we heard what Rob Parker said on First Take, calling him a cornball brother. Now, he lost his job after saying that. But over time, we realized that it may have been some merit to that argument. All right. Now, while we was on stream, I'm gonna play all that right there, and I'm gonna play y'all more things from the stream as well. Make sure you guys are always tuned in, have the notification bell turned on for the streams. If you do miss the full streams, though, sometimes they yellow mark my videos, so I gotta make them members only. So if you want to watch the full streams, join members only. You get it uncut, unfiltered. If not, you gotta catch the clips. All right, and that's if I post clips. So let me run back what Ryan Clark said in response to RG3's commentary surrounding Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. All right, peep this real quick.
So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know,
bruh, did you see how the girl looked? I don't think she could get up, nigga. I don't think she could get up. The fuck is he talking about?
Chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun. Y'all remember that?
Bro, I don't think she could get up, man.
She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy?
She accepted the role, though. Like, you know, I see what you're saying, but she accepted the role, which was something that she shouldn't have to do. But let me let her finish.
She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain.
All right, but yeah, that was after the point as things already went along, she accepted the role of being the villain. But my thing always comes down to, bro, who gives a if they don't like each other? Why is this a conversation? I understand it is women's sports, so maybe it's a thing like people want to look at them as far as wanting them to be dainty and classy and prissy and shit. But it's sports, bro. I don't give a if they don't like each other. Why is that the conversation? Why is that the leading thing every single time? Why are we talking about they whoop their ass? Just talk about what happened on the court. That's all you got to talk about. The Chicago Scar are trash this year. Caitlin Clark is on the court with about 4 All-Stars in her starter lineup. It's like 4 of them that are All-Stars. She has an amazing team. They're going to do some amazing things. She dropped a triple-double coming out the gates. That should be the main topic. This is a little tech foul. That's some whack ass to continue this going on for it. And the only reason he's doing it is business wise. He knew that I need to find a way to continue the momentum from last year when it came to all that shit. Let me find a way to hack back into that and to continue that going on, and I'll be the first one to go ahead and do it over here. And they on his ass for that point because I just don't give a why they gotta like each other. Oh well, who gives a But all right, so Ryan Clark, he comes out speaking on the situation. Let me see what he got to say, bro. I haven't seen this. I want to just see for the first time with y'all.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And it's
just the truth, you know, it's just the truth. And like just the same reason as far as some people love Angel Reese just because she's a Black woman that keeps it real. She's like a girl that just fits in perfectly to shade room content. And that's the reason why some people support her but may never watch a game. May never watch a game at all, may not even understand a game, but if it's a conversation going on online, they're going to chime in just to support her. And I believe that's the same thing going on the other end when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And the opposition being Caitlin Clark, a white girl that looks like how she does. That's another reason why some people are going to support her just cause. And that's how shit going to be. That's how shit going to be.
Racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what...
Hey man, a proud milkman, okay?
As if the color of her skin is what makes her special. As if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her, and now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
Okay, all right, so you guys all caught up. Now, let's get to everybody's being on Robert Griffin's ass part 2. They on his ass, right? So they said, nigga turned into a victim, wonder where he get that from. I haven't heard this yet. I'm about to watch this with y'all. Let's go ahead and peep in.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, you crossed the line, man.
Is he doing a slow push in his own? He doing a slow pushing?
You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN. It's cowardly, it's spineless, and it's weak. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family. Personally because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for him as a man.
Did he try that like 4 or 5 different times and just keep it all in there? Because it sounded like he said the same thing 4 or 5 different times. And I know sometimes I mess over my words, you know. And sometimes I leave it in my edit as well by mistake. Maybe he made a mistake. But what y'all think about that, bro? What y'all think about that, ma? I think Ryan Clark's believe your sports opinion comes based on your personal preference for women and how you behave. He thinks that all correlates because that's his thoughts on the situation. Now let's get to the reactions. So Ryan Clark says, bruh, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urged people to let you be you, no matter how corny, how bad a teammate you were. I had your back. What did you do? Invite someone on your show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me and then hit me weeks later to tell me you're going to challenge one of my takes. You're a phony, bro. You're a phony. One of the worst teammates I ever had, both on and off the field and the TV or whatever. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't attack your wife. I spoke on what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife and she seemed like a lovely lady. That was worth more than the color of her skin. You be good, bro. He says in no way tripping on any of it. Know exactly who I am, what I said, why I said it, and who I said it for. I can live with everything else, you know? All right, so he always gonna stand in the pain. He let it be known that he's gonna protect black women and his way of doing that. Challenging anybody that puts black women in harm based on a narrative that they carelessly put out there on social media. And I'm in the harm's way, all right? Now, dude says RG3 brought this on himself. I do not care. Why did they say that? People have been going in for the longest. Let's see what they're saying, all right? So, They post this skit real quick that RG3 posted. Say, everything Ryan Clark said about you is true. You a weird coon. Sheesh. So when you accidentally take melanin instead of melatonin to fall asleep. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. RG3 definitely sees color. He used to crack a lot of milk jokes, Ryan Clark, and proof in the pudding. Cookies and milk. National Milk Day. But wait, there's more. Super Saiyan Milkman. Doctors say breast milk is the best milk. Post Malone concert with this tall glass of milk. Cookies and milk. Hey, that man proud of his milk. He proud of his milk, man. Hey, they ain't my cup of milk. For me, cup of tea, what they want to call it. But hey, he's obsessed with that shit, for real. Alright, so let's see some more of the comments that people saying it's more so real. Serious ones, not the jokes. Dude says, first, no one's reading all of that, Robert. Second, you're literally making his point from you got called out for being a coon in front of front and behind the cameras. We've seen it before in your weird videos. He said nothing bad about your wife or kids. He stated the obvious. Ryan Clark says, you've been married to white women twice, so the closest woman to you wouldn't be able to give you perspective from Angel Reese's viewpoint as a black woman. RG3 says, why are you attacking my family? You saw a white woman commit a hard foul on Angel. Angel reacted and you said she hates CC. Not the aggressor, not the one who committed the foul. Ryan Clark is about the phone gone. Facts, bro. Like, it's a passive aggressive. I think they both don't like each other, and I think that's probably fine. The problem becomes when you guys want to ignore that they both probably not too fond of each other. That was a moment right there where CC let it be known that, listen, I'm giving that same energy back to you this year, and I don't care how you feel about it. You feel me? And I have no problem with it. I like CC, I like Angel Reese. I have no problem with them being competitive and not liking each other. I think it's perfectly fine for that to be the case. But don't go ahead and try to make it a thing like, oh, Angel Reese is the one who doesn't like her, and then you are inviting energy towards her by not keeping it real and not keeping it fair. They don't like each other, and it's perfectly fine. It's nothing to really talk about. It's no think pieces necessary, all right? But RG3 understands the grift. He understands the business, so he's going to try his way to go ahead and squeeze out of that situation more and more to continue and piggyback off of everything that was going on last WNBA season. That's what he's doing. Dude says, after watching RG3's response to Ryan Clark, there's no way Robert can continue to lie that he doesn't dislike Ryan Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Robert hates Ryan Clark, not some football rivalry hate either. Hate. I see what you did there, my boy. So Tariq Nasheed, hey man, my hair ain't always on point. I'm still getting used to not having locks, but this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know how she allowed this, but it makes sense that she allowed this. But Tariq Nasheed says Ryan Clark was 100% correct in calling out Robert Griffin III for his comments on Angel Reese. Griffin has been tap dancing for butter biscuits for years. I tweeted this almost a decade ago. Your take, as it were, is as much socialization as observation. And you have been socialized to carry a theory of blackness in general, and black women in particular, that leaves you ill-equipped to give thoughtful analysis. I mean, bruh, he even victimizes himself like a white woman. He didn't attack you, your family, nor your wife. He actually defended your wife from the fetishization that you subject her to damn near daily on this app. So Daz Bryant says Ryan Clark didn't attack your family. All he did was throw back in your face what you were aware of, what you weren't aware of. He's trying to get you to understand that you did a poor job with journalism. You really took it outside of sports, bro. You push a negative narrative that's been projected on Angel Reese whenever the world learned who she was. The way you expressed hate was outside of the arena. The world shouldn't have had this uproar because Angel Reese reacted to a foul. I'm just saying, hey, real shit, bro. Real shit. Why does this need a think piece? That makes the WNBA so unbearable that these think pieces come from the most stupidest shit. Talk about sports. Talk about the actual basketball. And if you want to go ahead and talk shit about Angel Reese, fine. Talk about her inefficiency. Talk about that. Don't talk about hate just because she reacted to a hard foul when there's already tension between two players. Like, come the f on. Like, we not stupid. Stop being dumb and pussy, bro. All right. He told you that you lack empathy for black women. Clearly he was right. And these points gonna lead into my coverage that I did on the live stream. It says, I enjoy watching Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark compete, but I'd be content if they never shared the court again. The discourse that follows this is unbearably toxic, and I'm tired of seeing these young women used as pawns for people's racial agendas. I feel you, my boy. That's the kid Gowie. And Des Bryant says, I feel bad for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Real talk, society will always be fucked. Real shit, dog. Real shit. All right, so I'm about to run the clips from my live stream covering the situation. There's probably like 2 of them I put together because it was a lot, you know. Make sure you don't miss any live streams moving forward by turning on the notification bell so you're in the chat and on point. Make sure you turn on the notification bells. And also follow my Twitch because eventually I'm going to be streaming certain things that you can't do on YouTube on Twitch. So the Twitch link is in the description. Join the Twitch and all that good stuff because tonight we are supposed to be going over all this dissing, this rap beef, you know, this rap battle with Joey Badass taking on the West Coast. Be on point for that. Be on point for that. But peep this clip with me discussing Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese and all the craziness coming from the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, I don't have no issue with Caitlin Clark. As everything was going on in the past, everything she did what she was supposed to do. Whether on the court or off the court, she did what she's supposed to do. Ball on the court, off the court. If you ask her about certain things, she's gonna denounce it and just do her thing. It's the fans or the fake fans or people that want to use this situation as a placeholder to get off the other talking points and things of that sort. Those the ones who become annoying. And what happens is the players, they use her, they may direct the energy that they have towards her fans, towards her in that court. And that's probably what happens a lot of times. Because when it comes down to her, I don't think anything that she does on the court competitively is wrong at all. She does a thing. I don't see her causing any even that foul, which I believe was an intentional foul. To be hard, she push on the floor. People may say it's a weak foul. I think she was trying to go ahead and send a message, man. You push my teammate. Fuck that. You ain't getting these free throws. You ain't getting that shot all. Go through the line. Push or shove. It is what it is. That's within sports to me. I don't find nothing she did right there wrong. And I don't find nothing that Angel Reese did wrong at all. Now, what I want to have a conversation about, which I wish these folks have a conversation about, is the sports. And when it comes down to it, Angel Reese just isn't, I don't think she's going to become, from what we see so far, I don't know if she's just going to end up becoming this Aja Wilson type player. Aja is a monster. Everything skilled it. She was skilled it on the offensive end coming into the league. I think Angel, just some things just doesn't come natural to her as far as her flow for the game, her feel for the game, as far as how she looks coordinated. I just don't think it's going to come. But that doesn't mean that she isn't going to be a great player. I think she's going to be shit. I think last time I was talking about a situation, I said that she reminds me of Joakim Noah. Which I love Joakim Noah because I grew up a UF Gators fan, a Florida Gators fan. And a hustle player, could get streaky on offense, plays great defense, rebounds the ball, moves his feet well. And I think she has the ability to be I guess Joakim would be a poor man's version of her as far as what she could be for her team. But I do not think a team should be built around her to run the offense through her. I think that's stupid as hell. I don't think she has that skill set. As far as running the offense through her, nah, she need to get off the glass. She need to get off the hustle. As far as running pick and rolls and things of that sort, I think she could push and fast break. I think she's good enough for that. But running the offense through her, I don't see that for her right now. If she shows that in the future, then, but yeah, maybe. But her team is just constructed, from what I've seen, that team is constructed horribly. Kennedy Clark, when she was on the team with Angel Reese last year, that team made more sense when you had Kennedy Clark to run around with when they running off picks from 2 big men. It made sense for Kennedy Clark to have them on the team with her. But now I don't know what the they doing. That team looks stupid. And going against what is looking like to be a juggernaut with Caitlin Clark's team, I don't see how this going to be any type of rivalry. It just doesn't even make sense as far as a rivalry. Yes, before, leading up to college. In college, Angel Reese kicked Caitlin Clark's ass. She had better teams. When she won a championship, she had, what do you call the girl? Luther. She, the point guard, she cut shit up. She was going crazy. She was able to score. And Angel Reese did her thing too. Last year had Kennedy Clark. That's how it's supposed to go. She's not supposed to be the #1 option. So that's just the sports aspect of it. But Acho spoke some more What was he had to say about this shit?
Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese versus Caitlin.
This nigga. He be so animated, bro. Let me make sure he's so animated.
Angel
man.
Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. I'm going to say something that is incredibly peaceful, so it might not get clicks. Hey, you can be white, think Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese and not be racist. Hey, you can be black and think Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese and not be a sellout, a coon, dancing for the man, or any other word or adjective that's thrown at you. We have made the line so black and white, pun intended, that sports fans can't even be sports fans anymore. Now, I will suggest this. If you think Angel Reese sucks, well then you might not be racist, you would just be wrong. To be one of the 144 women in the WNBA, you can't suck. To be an SEC Player of the Year, you can't suck. The word sucking is objective. So you might not favor Angel Reese's style of play, but that does not mean she sucks. If you think Caitlin Clark is a really, really, really good basketball player, a generational basketball player, it doesn't mean you're a sellout. It doesn't mean you hate black women. It doesn't mean you hate black people. Maybe, just maybe, you favor Caitlin Clark's style of ball. Now, the question is this. If your motivation to belittle Angel Reese comes from nowhere other than some sort of innate desire to make her feel lesser than, then maybe you should question your motivation. Maybe it is a racial underpinning. Maybe it is a racial undertone. Maybe you should question your motivation. But if you just don't like Angel Reese's style of ball, that is okay. What I draw issue with is when we try to suggest that the black person who prefers Caitlin's style of ball is somehow pandering or dancing for the man, or the white person who simply prefers Caitlin's style of ball is somehow racist. Now, you can, if you were hurling insults at Angel Reese based upon her race, be racist, which a lot of people are doing, but we have to give fans the grace to be fans, and we have to give humans the grace to prefer someone else's style of play without being a sellout, without dancing for the man, without being racist.
He made fair points, a lot of good points, because the energy that LeBron got was insane, bro. Hold on. LeBron showed love to Caitlin Clark, and they was on his ass. That shit was crazy as hell. What that shit at? What that shit at? Triple Dub CC. That's all he says. Triple Dub CC. Great way to kick out the season. And boy, these quotes is nasty. They said, what this is? Hold on. Let me make sure y'all see it over there. Such a coon. Between Halliburton or LeBron, who love white women more? LeBron James is a disgrace to the black community, and he cheated on his wife with white women too. I'm not surprised he's been fake his whole image fake. Receding bum ass bitch. God damn, bro. Just because he's showing love to a fellow baller, bro. Caitlin Clark is a generational athlete, man. And you guys gotta accept that. Like, let me tell y'all, man. I had to come around to accept that Kyrie Irving was a generational athlete. I had to come around to accept that we didn't really expect it. And once I accepted that he was a generational athlete, I had to come to accept that Steph Curry is a generational athlete too. And because there's other players that I rooted for, and that was like coming out around the same time as them, it was other players that I was rooting for against them. But then when you just gotta just say, hey, that man's a beast, bro. You can't take away from that person's greatness. That person's a beast. And it doesn't take away from the person that you do root for. You naturally came in loving. You can still respect the other person's game. Like, say, for instance, when I was a kid, I was a big Ben Wallace fan, so I like the Pistons. And it's crazy because I live in Miami, but the Heat was sorry. But until they got Dwayne Wade. And then when they got Wade, it was like this nigga was torching the Pistons. And I just realized, man, and I remember going to a game, I believe it was game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It was the year that the Pistons won the championship, though. But I think it was game 6 or something in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know, it may have been a year after the Pistons won the championship, now that I think about it. But nevertheless, Dwayne Wade went crazy. And I watched that shit in person, and I'm like, bro, I know I'm rooting for the Pistons, but this man is great. He's great. And that's how it is for someone like me who came in watching this. I did come in looking at it and supporting Angel Reese. I'm like, Angel Reese, cool. I like her energy. I like the way she played defense, the tenacity, rebound, and everything like that. And also when she used the muscle in college, as far as scoring and shit. She can't do that with these grown ass women though. She's trying to get better at it. But But yeah, those things made me start watching. But then over time, seeing Caitlyn's game, I'm like, bro, Caitlyn's a beast. You cannot take that away from her. And you also get a chance to realize, oh, I'm discovering something generational that's happened that you don't see too often. And I already was paying attention to Asia Wilson, but you do get a chance to learn about new athletes. Like last year, I learned about Fee that plays for the Minnesota Lynx. She's amazing. She's fire. You feel me? So that's why I think people that love sports, that's how I think they're thinking about this shit and they come into it, listening to everything that's going on with the WNBA. But most folks that don't care about sports, they care about the drama. They care about the back and forth. And they will never care about anything other than that. So there's no point, no purpose to even trying to convince them to look at things your way.